Now's the time to track down the best deals at Cabela's after Christmas clearance. Hurry in and save up to 50% on a huge selection of footwear from national brands like Ariat, Timberland, Danner, and more. Get 50% off select Cabela's logo tees and caps for the family. And take 30% off select Cabela's rods, reels, combos, and tackle storage. Don't miss your chance to save big during Cabela's after Christmas clearance. Shop in-store and at Cabela's.com.
Trump against firing special counsel Robert Mueller or pardoning any targets of the federal probe into Russia and the president's Republican campaign. Senator Mark Warner says he's troubled by reckless statements by those seeking to undermine the special counsel's probe into Russian election interference.
In recent days, the president said he is not considering removing special counsel Mueller. But the president's track record on this front is a source of concern.
South Korea says it's fired 20 rounds of warning shots as North Korean soldiers approached a military demarcation line at the border after their comrade defected to South Korea. Seoul's defense ministry says the shootout happened after a North Korean soldier safely arrived at a frontline South Korean guard post on Thursday. More on these stories at townhall.com. I'm Ron DeRockstra. New figures show House member offices paid $342,000 in settlements over 4 years.
New numbers released by the House Office of Compliance show taxpayers paid more than $342,000 to settle workplace discrimination disputes involving House offices between 2009 and 2012. That includes nearly $175,000 in payouts for 8 settlements related to sexual harassment and sex discrimination complaints. 3 of the sexual harassment settlements were previously undisclosed. The lawmakers' offices involved are not identified, nor are the accusers. It is not clear if the cases involved accusations against the lawmaker or their staff. Mike Gracia, Washington.
It was on this date, December 20th, 1803, the Louisiana Purchase was completed as ownership of the territory was formally transferred from France to the United States. News and analysis at townhall.com. I'm Ron DeRockstra.
Anytime, any place, anywhere, radio remains the most intimate of all forms of media. At home, at work, in the car, on smartphones. Over 90% of consumers still listen to radio every week. That makes choosing radio as a place to advertise your business one of the best decisions you can make. Email advertise@gcnlive.com and partner up with an experienced GCN representative. Advertise@gcnlive.com. Easy, affordable, effective.
Hi, I'm Craig Samet, Chief Clinical Officer from Anthem. Every new parent dreams of bringing their baby home for the first time. But some babies are born too sick or too soon to come home right away. That's why the Anthem Foundation supports the life-saving research and programs of the March of Dimes, the leading nonprofit organization for pregnancy and baby health. Help us give every baby a fighting chance so that more babies can come home healthy. Learn how at marchofdimes.org.
If you don't want to hear real facts on social and political issues, then stop listening now. Otherwise, stay right here for real issues, real facts with real people.
Accelerate your culturalization of America.
But when the Dems use the argument that we're all immigrants, I want to turn into the Tasmanian devil with 2 clubs in Miami, clear the room. They were immigrants that came here because they wanted to be here. They wanted to learn they wanted the American dream. You cannot get the American dream speaking Spanish.
Fat, drunk, and stupid is no way to go through life, son.
I'm going to deal with topics and issues that will make you think, make you mad, and maybe even get you a little embarrassed. So don't go anywhere. The lines are open. You can reach me at 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563.
You're always so stupid. Why did you take lessons?
You're despicable.
Welcome back to another session of Insanity right here on the Realside. Always a pleasure to have you with me, 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. And I do appreciate the time that you spend with me on the air, in the chat room, texting, tweeting, and truly being part of the conversation. I always get such a kick out of some of the stuff I read between the breaks and what have you. And head up to the website, therealside.com. You can watch live, you can listen live, You can take the poll up there. There's a lot you can do up there to be involved in the conversation, and I want you involved in the conversation. I don't want you just nodding your head and saying, yeah, okay, he's right, because we happen to be on the same page, from a conservative standpoint. I want you to say I'm right because I've got the right facts that you can go out and get. Now, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I guess I will. Because there's been enough, and you can tweet out some of these comments if you'd like. I was on a very progressive, very left socialist radio show this morning. And when they get you ready for these shows, when they tell you about the shows, they always say the same thing. We're going to be talking about this, we're going to be talking about that. CNN does it too. They all do it. Where they give you the basics of what you're going to talk about. In this case, it was supposed to be today's tax plan. But when they actually get on there, it didn't. Not that it changed. Don't get me wrong. But all of a sudden, I've got these questions thrown at me that every time that corporations give major tax breaks or get major tax breaks, it doesn't trickle down. It doesn't help the user, and it causes the markets to crash. Now, those aren't the exact words, but those are the basic words. So the inference was that every time you give a tax break, now this is from somebody who's, would love us to implement socialism Friday at noon, and that would be a little too late. You'd want it done tonight. And what I always find interesting with these people is it doesn't matter what you say. It's wrong. You're off. You don't know what you're talking about. And the people commenting, obviously his people, just like my people would comment to the opposite. And so when people are commenting on it, they're talking about how much better he did. I don't care who did better than who, and that's for me. That particular scenario is a no-win situation. But one of the things I brought up was JFK's tax breaks, and he stated that, and I'll cut it up later on, but he basically said that was a myth. It didn't happen, and that John F. Kennedy was not for the tax breaks, nor did he push them through. Right? Now, Kennedy was very clear on the economy and taxes. Right? And in 1963, he proposed a cut to income taxes from a range of 20% down from 91%. So why would he propose something he didn't believe in? You see what I mean? They seem to have forgotten that. And this isn't from Fox News Network. This isn't from any hardcore right-wing publication. NPR, a very right-wing publication, right? They go on to say that JFK's lasting economic legacy is about lowering tax rates. Hello? Liberals say the conservatives' interpretation is misleading not because of real economics, but because the conditions were different in the early 60s. The top marginal tax rate was 91%. Kennedy-backed tax rates brought that down to 70. And today the highest rate is 39, being cut as we speak. So if he wasn't for lowering tax rates, then why did he bring them down to 70%? Look, I don't have a college degree, but 91 to 70 is a lower rate, is it not? And then Time magazine, they're known for their right leaning bent, right? No. JFK, matter of fact, Time wrote a piece about how JFK and Ronald Reagan proved that tax cuts work. So it's easy when somebody pulls you on the show live, just like I do to people. You bring them on live to catch them a little off guard because you're really not going down the road that they want you to. Forbes magazine wrote that President Kennedy's tax cuts caused the boom and LBJ's spending caused the bust. So I'm kind of confused as to where I went wrong or what I did wrong or how I was wrong about it. See, again, this is constant on the left. This is constant. JFK, in his speech, and I've got it here, and I'll put it up. In his speech, he made the case that tax cuts would help would take care of the economy, would push the economy forward. And today they want to conveniently forget that stuff. It's just like the pieces I do about Jimmy Carter. Right? One of the, I don't know what he's like today. I can't talk about it today. I can only talk about what he's done in the past. He was one of the biggest racists that we've had in the presidential chair that you've known. I'm Joe Messina, your host. Listen to Realside on GCN Live. We'll be back in a few minutes.
J&M Enterprises is a full-service screen printing company. They print on shirts, pants, hats, cups, frisbees, sports bags, sweatshirts, tote bags, and most any other promotional items. J&M has been family-owned and operated for over 25 years. J&M takes pride in providing high-quality products and services because we care. Our state-of-the-art equipment enables us to print high volume with superior quality on any job. We print on clothing lines for schools, businesses, sports teams, and bands nationwide. Our team is committed to total customer satisfaction and the quality you should expect from a professional screen printing company. J&M, family owned and operated. Give us a call. We guarantee a great product and a great price. 800-462-0002. For a price quote, 800-468-0002. Or go to the web at www.jnm.cc.
Non-attorney paid spokesperson. Could your house go into foreclosure? Are you behind on your mortgage payments? Does it seem like the bank has no interest in helping you save your home? And you feel like you have nowhere to turn for help? Then we have good news for you. Foreclosure Protection Services can help save your home as they specialize in foreclosure assistance. That's all they do. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, being threatened with foreclosure, have been denied a loan modification, or been the victim of a predatory loan, it's critical that you call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-667-9035. Their network of attorneys and their agents are available to speak to you now. If you're behind on your mortgage payments, Foreclosure Protection Services can help stop the foreclosure process. Call today before it's too late. New laws are in effect that may save your home. Call Foreclosure Protection Services now at 800-667-9035. 800-667-9035. That's 800-667-9035.
Does the current world crisis in North Korea or our domestic crisis right here in America concern you? Well, I know it concerns me. My friends over at Legacy Food Storage have solutions in the event there's the inevitable. What's the inevitable? Civil unrest, a run on your local grocery store. And here's my question to you. If this happens, how do you feed your children? How do you feed your grandchildren? Legacy Food Storage has the solutions. In fact, they can help you implement a simple plan to take care of your needs in the event of the inevitable. By calling them right now, I have authorized them to give you a special 20% discount at checkout by simply using GCN. Call 888-543-7345 or visit them at legacyfoodstorage.com. That's 888-543-7345 or visiting them at legacyfoodstorage.com. Make sure you use GCN at checkout for an incredible 20% discount. Don't be a victim. Take control of your life now.
Frustrated trying to get business capital? Want to take the slow process and rejection out of the equation? GCNloans.com removes the slow, irritating approval process. Instead, get quick, simple funding. Powered by David Allen Capital, 80% of our pre-qualified clients are approved in days. Pre-qualify at GCNloans.com and get your money this week. It's that easy. GCNloans.com. That's GCNloans.com.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck. or back or shoulder. Long-distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body. Why take another pill? Treat your aches and pains with Sunshine Pillows. Microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra-large body heating wraps. Sunshine Pillows and wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it, even while driving. Sunshine Pillows are designed with your comfort in mind, will not burn you, and will stay balanced on your body to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part, Sunshine Pillows start at just $20. Join hundreds of our happy customers and see why Sunshine Pillows has a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. Click sunshine-pillows.com and take the Sunshine Pillow Challenge. That's sunshine-pillows.com.
This is Dan Pilla. Do you owe the IRS money you can't pay? Are tax debts crippling you? I've defended people from the IRS for over 30 years. I've helped thousands, and I can help you too. I wrote the book on IRS settlement, and I'm telling you, there's no such thing as a hopeless case. Call 800-34-NO-TAX to finally get free of IRS debt. With the IRS's new programs, there's never been a better time to solve your problem. Call 800-34-NO-TAX. That's 800-34-NO-TAX, or my website, danpilla.com.
Can't you see what I'm trying to tell you? I love you. Why don't you marry me?
Why, marry you?
You take me and I'll take a vacation. I'll need a vacation if we're going to get married.
Seems everything I buy these days has got a foreign name. From the kind of car I drive to my video game. I got a Nikon camera, a Sony color TV.
I love that voice. I'm Joe Messina, your host. Listen to Realside on GCN Live. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. Always a pleasure to, like I said, I appreciate the time that you guys spend with me, whether it's on the air, in the chat room, texting, tweeting, being part of the conversation, and just being involved. And I don't have the information, which is why I like to bring the people on that have the information. Which, let me tell you what, I try to get the best of the best. You tell me. I always love when I have David Fisher on with me. I have a good time. I don't care about you guys. I get a lot out of him as well. Always a pleasure when he's on with me. David Fisher is the CEO of Landmark Capital, and a lot to talk about today. A lot of activity today, right, David?
Oh, my gosh. If you're in the news media, you're really busy today. Really, really busy.
You better know how to type. You better know how to type fast,
You're in the
right?
news media, Joe. You're busy. I'm surprised you even have me on your program.
I know. There you go. Well, you know what it is? I don't know anything about this stuff, so I bring you on to explain it all to me. The tax bill, like a game of pinball, for God's sakes. It was into Congress last night, went over to the Senate, back to the House this morning, and we have it done. Or it is a done deal for all intents and purposes. But you know what? There was a victory speech given today. Tell me what's good for America, what's bad for America in this bill.
The pinball, the wizard, it all got done, yes. I'm not referring to President Trump as a wizard. I want to make sure people don't send me those nasty emails. It's a good deal. Let me make first have everybody understand I am a Trump supporter. That doesn't mean I like everything that President Trump does or says or passes, but I think this is a good deal. So I want to make clear that everybody hears that.
Okay.
Is it everything it should have been? No, it shouldn't. There's some things that I think we really missed the mark on. In the let's hurry up and get this done. There's a lot of negotiations that were done,
right.
And some of it was done at the end. Where lobbyists got involved. One I'm referring to the alternative minimum tax that was removed. So that forces corporations to make sure they're going to pay a minimum tax.
Right.
So that's how simply what that is, and that got removed. So corporations really benefited. So here's where I think that they missed the mark on this one is that corporations, big corporations, which make a significant amount of money, which is what this is geared at, should be paying a little bit more tax now because of all the loopholes, the alternative minimum tax being removed, now they can actually probably pay less taxes, possibly, than a middle income wage earner. So I don't necessarily agree with that. There's a lot of benefits in this bill, though, that's riddled with benefits. Child credit that got expanded. We kept some of the things that in the original House and Senate bill that they wanted to remove that were not going to be good in removing as far as the benefit to middle Americans that now are put back in there or very close to being put back in there. I'm referring to the Affordable Care Act being forced into buying it, and if you don't buy it, you now have a penalty. That was in the original. Now that's been removed. So, I don't think the government should penalize people if they don't want to sign up to the government's plan. That was the original Affordable Care Act. It was the original part of the bills, and now that's been removed. So there's no penalty for not signing up to the government's health care plan.
Yeah, but the left is spinning that as 9 million people are going to lose their insurance, which is not a true statement. They can still get it. They just have to choose to pay for it. And if they choose not to pay for it, then they simply get they don't get the fine anymore, correct?
Well, just think of it this way. We're moving further the other direction away from socialism, which is what Affordable Care Act was all about, the heartbeat of it. And now we're moving towards middle stream and saying if you want insurance, you're going to have to pay for that insurance. And we're not going to – if you want to not pay for it, and be on the government's plan, we're not going to penalize you because you chose not to be on that. So you're gonna have to pay what you get for, in essence, and that's really how life works. So I hear all these nonsensical things like you're hearing, Joe, from the media. You're going to hear a lot of it. That's why President Approval's ratings is like 36% in comparison. Very similar to Reagan, and all the doubting Thomases are throwing mud at this bill, and that's normal. We're going to have that in this environment. There's some things and reasons why I think they should throw mud, though. First of all, I think this is going to stimulate jobs. I think this is going to stimulate the economy. I think wages are going to come back to where they should be. And, it's not going to happen overnight, but I think it will do all those things that President Trump and the Republicans have been pushing for and what President Trump campaigned for by making America great. Job growth, economic growth, good quality jobs, wage increase that have been left behind, all those things, this is going to do all that. One thing it's not going to do is get the debt under control. I know this is not a popular topic. I get that. I'm kind of like the Democrats in throwing holes in this thing where it doesn't sound good, but I want to make sure everybody still understands I still support President Trump. I just don't want people to think this is going to fix everything, because it's not. It's going to fix the individual household by making a lot more money and saving more money. It will do that, but something's going to get taken in the shorts, and that is going to be our debt. Our debt is going to go up at least $1.46 trillion in 10 years just by this tax bill is what's being said. On top of that, another $5 or $6 trillion by spending, and they're talking about $1 trillion infrastructure spending bill. So take about $8 trillion. I've said this before, and that's not the last bill. So we're going to have $8 to $9 trillion. You can just round it off to 10. I'm not sounding to be aggressive, but I think, I'm being realistic. I know how our country works. And, the rebuttal to this, Joe, is all this is going to stimulate more taxes to the Treasury to pay down the debt. If that's the case, why do we have the debt that we have it at? That is a fundamental thing that's never worked. It didn't work under Reagan. Reagan did great things for job growth, great things for economic growth, and Trump is doing the very same thing. What didn't work under Reagan, and my dad served with Reagan, I love Reagan, what did not work under Reagan is debt reduction or deficit reduction. Those two things did not go down, they went up. Reagan inherited $550 billion, and he left office with $2.2 trillion in national debt. So
we'll be back more with David Fisher after the break. Don't go far. Got a lot more coming up. You need to know what to do with your money. If you already know what to do with your money, let me know. Let me know where it is. Anyway. I'm Joe Messina, your host. We'll be back in a few minutes.
J&M Enterprises is a full-service screen printing company. They print on shirts, pants, hats, cups, frisbees, sports bags, sweatshirts, tote bags, and most any other promotional items. J&M has been family-owned and operated for over 25 years. J&M takes pride in providing high-quality products and services because we care. Our state-of-the-art equipment enables us to print high volume with superior quality on any job. We print on clothing lines for schools, businesses, sports teams, and bands nationwide. Our team is committed to total customer satisfaction and the quality you should expect from a professional screen printing company. J&M, family owned and operated. Give us a call. We guarantee a great product and a great price. 800-462-0002. For a price quote, 800-468-0002. Or go to the web at www.jnm.cc.
Sometimes life can be a pain in the neck, or back, or shoulder. Long-distance travel or long hours in front of a computer can take its toll on your body. Why take another pill? Treat your aches and pains with Sunshine Pillows. Microwavable heat wraps, heatable neck pillows, and extra-large body heating wraps. Sunshine Pillows and wraps are designed better for perfect support where and when you need it, even while driving. Sunshine Pillows are designed with your comfort in mind, will not burn you, and will stay balanced on your body to provide soothing hot or cold therapy to treat temporary or chronic pain. And the best part, Sunshine Pillows start at just $20. Join hundreds of our happy customers and see why Sunshine Pillows has a lifetime 100% positive rating on both Amazon and Etsy. Click sunshine-pillows.com and take the Sunshine Pillow Challenge. That's sunshine-pillows.com.
You are listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
It's a no-brainer. A Big Berkey water filter is the one you need, period. You need a water filter that removes chlorine, fluoride, pharmaceuticals, BPA, and other endocrine disruptors, pesticides, bacteria, viruses, and much more, right? And does it all at only 2 cents per gallon. Get the original and most trusted name in gravity water filtration, Big Berkey. And now GCN listeners receive 5% off ceramic filter systems using code GCN. Call or click 1-877-99-BERKEY or BigBerkeyWaterFilters.com. That's 1-877-99-BERKEY.
Have you checked your ECS lately? We have. We are New Pharma, scientists who specialize in human functions controlled by the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. Let me simplify. Your ECS is involved in physiological processes like appetite, pain sensation, mood, memory, and immune systems. New Pharma's patent-pending science is the big difference in our natural solutions, formulated for your well-being. For example, our foundation product provides targeted nutrition to support a healthy endocannabinoid system, which is directly responsible for managing and controlling inflammation. This product contains turmeric, which is known as one of the best anti-inflammatories on the planet. Our Allergies product contains sage, which is a very effective decongestant. See all of our amazing capsules, essential oils, and ECS herbal teas at GNUPHARMA.com. New Pharma. Your path to wellness begins here.
A lot can happen in 6 seconds. A rodeo ride, a dramatic basketball win, and the world record holder can solve a Rubik's Cube. 6 seconds is how long it takes for an 18-wheeler traveling at a safe speed to come to a complete stop. And in those 6 seconds, that truck will travel the length of 2 football fields. So please, give them room. Never cut in front of a large truck for any reason. Our roads, our responsibility. Learn more at sharetheroadsafely.gov.
Why, I've never been so insulted in my life.
Well, it's early yet.
We are back. You're listening to Realside on GCN Live. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855 Real Joe. 855-732-5563. You notice I have in a stable, I simply have now the shepherd, one of the shepherds there looking after the sheep. But you can figure that out later on. Seriously, I always enjoy the time you guys spend with me on the air, in the chat room, texting, tweeting, and being part of the conversation. Let's get back to it. David Fisher. No, it just makes it very simple. Always understand what he's talking about. At least I do. I don't know about you guys. You know, I love when I have this guy on. David Fisher joins me. He's the CEO of Landmark Capital. I have him on every week to keep us up on what's going on in the market, what's going on with gold and silver, real estate, now Bitcoin and that kind of stuff. But we're talking about the tax bill today. And David, actually, when we left off in the last segment, you were talking about how the trickle down doesn't always work, or won't necessarily create new jobs as Reagan had claimed it would. Correct?
No, trickle down did create new jobs. Trickle down did create economic growth. Trickle down did put more money in Americans' pockets, and I think it's going to do it again. What it didn't do is lower the national debt and lower deficit spending. It increased more spending, and it increased more debt.
But if it created more jobs and we were putting more money into the system and people were buying more and payroll taxes were up, how does something like that happen?
Okay, well, let's look at the percentages. And the GDP when Reagan left office was 34%, GDP to national debt, gross domestic product. Money coming into the government compared to the debt. We could manage our debt at only having 34%. Right now, we're over 100% already before this bill was passed.
Yeah.
We're 104.8, or some people say as high as 107. I'm not even calculating the unfunded liabilities. And I'm not talking about the $1 trillion infrastructure bill that they're going to probably push through, and all the other bills, and we're going to get more money for military spending. And then we're going to talk about Social Security, and we're going to get more money for that probably. So there's more spending coming, and I'm not talking about any of that. I'm just saying before this bill was passed, our GDP to national debt is somewhere between 104 to 107%. We're spending more than what is taking in. That is why the debt is growing. It's not shrinking. And there's never been a model, even under Reagan, where we created so much more jobs or economic growth that created more profit, that more corporations and individuals paid more taxes of revenue to the Treasury, and the Treasury in turn turned that around and paid down the debt. It has not happened through a tax cut. What we need is a spending cut. We need to stop spending. And that's what they're not talking about. You don't hear the language anymore, unfortunately. We can't do this to our children. We can't do this to our grandchildren and our children's children's grandchildren. We can't do that to them. That's what this would do. Imagine we're financing the credit card. You don't hear much of that from Republicans, and in fact, negligent of that type of verbiage. Nothing's changed from that standpoint. You hear some Democrats talking about it, not very many, but a few, and I think they're right in this aspect. I'm not a Democrat. I'm a conservative Republican. I just concerned very greatly now about our debt. And so that's what this bill does not I think it's an F in reference to looking at our debt. I think it's an A- in reference to looking at job growth, making America great, putting money back into citizens' pockets. I mean, people, if they structure that, once they get the tax tables, Joe, in January, and they change the way their taxes are deducted from the paycheck, they're going to start to feel that immediately, a little over $100 by most people's figures, and the average family is going to get somewhere around $2,000 of more money in their pocket when they file their taxes next year, whether they paid less every month or they get a check back. It's going to be a little over $2,000. So I think that's great. It's going to do all that. So we get an A- because it's not perfect. I think there's some things they could have put in there. I would have given an A+, like the AMT, and put more salt back in there. I'm not referring to salt in the wound. I'm referring to state and local taxes. That would have been better for people who live in New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, and those blue states. But as far as the flip side of it, so there's spending and then there's savings. The savings, they've done great. The spending, they get an F. They're nothing talking about the spending. They say that they're going to fix that now. I don't want to turn blue by holding my breath. I hear that, and I want to see that.
They never go back and fix anything. We already know this. They never go back and fix anything. Anytime they say,
I'm going to give.
Go ahead.
Yeah, the history has shown that, but I'm going to give my accolades to President Trump is one thing I say, and this is anti-gold. I will even go this far as saying, because if they do what I'm wanting them to do, what we're talking about is get the debt down, it probably won't be good for gold. But gold is going up today. It's been going up yesterday, going up last week, because they're not talking about, gold is reacting to the environment saying they're not talking about our debt. And gold has tripled because the debt has doubled in the same period of time. So when the debt does not get addressed, and I don't think it will, I hope it does, because President Trump has campaigned on this. I hope he keeps this promise that he gets the debt under control. Not by defaulting, which he alluded to one time, but getting it under control through reduction of government size and reduction of government spending. So far, he's already talking about more spending. We haven't even got the ink on the bill yet. He hasn't signed it yet. We just got the celebration. And so we're already talking about more spending. It's just driving me crazy, Joe.
Well, that's what they do. That's what they do in D.C. It's sleight of hand. They do it, it's prestidigitation, right? I mean, they're magicians. Watch this hand, don't watch that one. And speaking of spending money, right? Congress passed a short-term debt ceiling extension a few weeks back, and now we need to raise the debt ceiling. I mean, they're going to kick this down. Why can't they just pass the debt ceiling in the budget and get it all done in one swoop?
Too much fighting, too much pork that goes on back of bills nowadays. Why did they pass one in September that they would have to take care of the 22nd of December? Why did they just give 2 weeks here, December 9th? And why did they just give 2 weeks to it? Now, here 2 days from now, we're going to have another debt ceiling limit. So the reason they've done it this way is because they can't look at the big picture, because they're trying to pass either spending bills or tax cut bills, which convolutes the conversation, and then they would get nothing done. So they're picking this thing one at a time. I said on national radio on Monday, when I was asked this conversation, I said, here's what I think is going to happen. I don't think they're going to come up with I don't think they're going to shut down the government this time. I don't think they're going to default. As I said on Monday, I don't think they're going to ignore it, because they can, because otherwise we would have one of those two or both. I think they're going to pass another short-term debt ceiling of maybe 2 to 3 weeks, get us into the new year, the second week, possibly maybe the first week in January, and then get a 6-month bill or something like that. Already they're talking about doing exactly the same thing I said on Monday. They came out in the news today, and someone came out yesterday saying this is what they might be doing. So we got 2 days to figure that out. They have to do this in sequential order. Now that they got the tax bill basically behind us, all there needs to be done is a signing of it. The next thing is going to be this, but I don't think they're going to come to the table and negotiate on this thing and pass a long-term raising the debt ceiling or a long-term extension. And that should tell us. Listen to what I'm saying, Americans. That should tell us we have a debt structure problem.
Listen, I hate to say this, because you may even get upset with me. Most people can't even balance their own checkbook. So when we start talking about this from a government level, what is the mantra that comes up on a regular basis when I talk to some really hardcore left progressive socialists? That government's got the money, and if the government doesn't have all the money they need, they can only take it from the people that are rich. And guys, if you took every nickel from every wealthy person in the country, allowed them to live in a decent home, but took the rest of their money, you couldn't pay any of the debt off. You'd be paying interest payments off for a couple of weeks, and that's it, if that much, right? Real quick.
Well, first of all, I'm not mad at you, and I don't get mad at you. I like the way you think, Joe. The government, you have the appropriations, the 12 appropriations bills that are supposed to get passed every year, every time before a president's budget, okay, for every year.
Right.
That only is looking at a piece of the pie, 28% of government spending. That's what that bill is. Congress votes on only 28% of the budget. The other 72% is locked in, stock and barrel, is already figured into the equation, and I'm talking about the interest on the
Okay, but hold on. You got. We have to go for a break, but I'm not letting you get away with it because of a break. The government only votes on 28% of the budget. That's insanity. Let's talk about that on the other side of the break.
Hello, Mr. Anderson. The NSA has noticed how much time you spend on conservative news sites. We have no choice but to consider you a domestic terrorist.
Tired of your internet activity being monitored by Big Brother? Get VirtualShield.com, the world's easiest to use virtual private network. Browse the web anonymously, leaving pesky advertisers and spies in the dust. Get started today at VirtualShield.com. Take advantage of our free 30-day trial. VirtualShield.com. You have the right to remain private.
Excuse me, sir. Could you take a picture of my family and me with my cell phone?
Sure, Mrs. Anderson. Smile for the camera.
Too bad hackers never get proper permission to access your cell phone or computer camera. Anyone is or could be susceptible to illegal spying. That's why VirtualShield.com has developed IdentiSafe, a new security software that blocks camera and microphone access from unwanted spies. Get started today at VirtualShield.com. Take advantage of our free 30-day trial. VirtualShield.com. You have the right to remain private.
If you're 85 or younger, would you like peace of mind and comfort for your family? We're Final Expense Direct with an urgent message for you. The average funeral today costs over $8,000, but the most you'll get from government benefits is $255. How will your family pay the difference? We can help. Our senior plans start as low as just $1 a day and pay up to $30,000 for a funeral and other final expenses. Peace of mind is easy. There's no medical exam. You'll have lifetime coverage, and your plan can't be canceled as long as you pay your premiums. Call now for free information about our senior plans. Answer a few simple questions and receive approval right on the phone. Plus, call right now and we'll give you a discount prescription card for free. Call 800-557-0158. That's 800-557-0158. Again, 800-557-0158.
People search the internet for everything, including you. With a few clicks, information from your past can be quickly discovered, from business deals gone wrong to misleading reviews, negative articles, and unflattering images. Studies show 78% of people search for someone online before doing business with them. Will they find the real you? With ReputationDefender.com, you can establish a positive internet presence. ReputationDefender.com pioneered the field with over a decade of experience, serving thousands of successful individuals and businesses. We use patented, award-winning systems to boost positive content and suppress negative material. Don't let the internet define you. Take control of your reputation today with ReputationDefender.com. For your quick, free reputation analysis, call 800-831-0771. That's 800-831-0771. 800-831-0771. Or visit ReputationDefender.com.
Hello, I'm Mike Lindell, the inventor of MyPillow, and like all of you out there, I had problems sleeping. Pillows would go flat, I would flip-flop all night long, I would wake up with a sore neck, maybe a headache, or feel like I needed a nap even though I slept 8 hours. When I invented MyPillow, I wanted it to where you could move the patented fill to give you the exact support you need as an individual, regardless of sleep position. MyPillow will get you into that deep REM sleep faster, and you will stay there longer. It's not about how much time we spend in bed, it's about how much of that quality sleep we get. I do all of my own manufacturing right here in the United States. I have a 10-year warranty. You can wash and dry my pillow, and I give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, so you have nothing to lose. And here's my best offer ever. You can buy one of my pillows and get one absolutely free.
Go to MyPillow.com or call 800-870-0305 and use promo code GCN. That's MyPillow.com or 800-870-0305 with promo code GCN.
Message and data rates may apply.
Guys, got hair loss? I know what you're thinking. Should I shave my head? Comb it over? Wear a hat? Just stop.
This isn't 1970. Keep your hair and your confidence because Bosley, America's #1 hair restoration expert, can give you your real hair back permanently. Check them out today because they're giving away an absolutely free information kit and a free gift card to everyone who texts EASY66 to 85850. Dude, you don't have to look like your dad because this isn't your dad's hair loss treatment. People all over the country trust Bosley because they're ahead of the curve. They use the latest technology to give you your real hair back. And the best part, Bosley's permanent solution is protected by the Bosley Guarantee. Let them show you for free how awesome your hair could look with an absolutely free information kit and a gift card for $250 off. Text EASY66 to 85850. Ask about the Bosley Guarantee. EASY66 to 85850.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
We are back. You're listening to Realside on GCN Live. Always a pleasure to have you with me. 855-REAL-JOE, 855-732-5563. And I really do appreciate the time that you're spending with me on the air, in the chat room, texting, tweeting, and truly being part of the conversation. Let's get to it. I want to hop right back onto it with David Fisher. He's the CEO of Landmark Capital, and we were talking about how the government handles debt, the debt ceiling, budgets, and all that. And then David threw something out at the very last 10 seconds, which was the government actually only votes on 28% of the budget. That would do, if they voted zero and all of that, it wouldn't do much for us, would it?
That's why people don't understand there's not a whole lot of wiggle room, that the government has to work with, and that's why this whole fight over the tax bill was like, a give and take so much, because there's a whole lot of money to be able to pull from this entity or that entity, because there's only, why is there 28% only to work with? Because 72% of what you call unfunded liabilities, corporate pensions, the debt, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, all those things which are black and white things we've agreed upon. That's why they keep saying, hey, sometime we're not going to be able to afford Social Security. That's because the percentages of the budget keeps going up because the debt goes up. When the debt goes up, the interest payment goes up. That raises that percentage because it's, it hasn't always been 72%. At one point in time, it was, like I said, 34%. So the number keeps going up, and pretty soon, Joe, we're not going to have much to have Congress even talk about. We will be so massively overspent, there won't be a whole lot of wiggle room in anything. So this is I'm going to say this is going to probably offend a lot of people. This is a do-or-die situation to pass this tax bill on the supply side to get more taxes. I'm going to tell you there's never been a model where it has worked. There's, a few Republicans saying how it's going to work. And it's great morale. It's great for the stock market. It's great for economic development. It's great for, real estate. It's great for a lot of different areas. But will in turn do and create more taxes? I don't think it's going to do that. So this is why this number of 28% that the Congress votes upon, and where I got that from is I have a television in my office on Fox News. I wish I would have wrote down the Republican congressman's name. He was saying this. So, this is a Republican telling us the facts that because they were giving them, playing the devil's advocate a hard time why they just couldn't get this done sooner. He says there's not a lot of wiggle room. There's only 28% we have to work with of the budget. So that's a fact. Google it.
Oh, I believe you. When I find out, this is why I always say I learned so much when you're on the show with me, and I shouldn't be surprised because as a school board member, here in California, about 83% of the money that we get from the state goes to benefits and salaries. That leaves us 17% to go ahead and fix the schools and do the rest of the stuff that we need to do. It's almost impossible for us to do. It really is, but. Let's move on to Bitcoin because the government's not taking Bitcoin, so I can't use that to help our voters out. But we've talked about it a couple of times. Any new information, good or bad changes, that kind of stuff?
Well, 2 weeks ago on a Monday, the Chicago Board of Options Exchange opened up the ability to do an option on Bitcoin, and I mentioned that on your program last week. And Bitcoin rallied in the option market up 26% on that Monday. The stock market breakers broke in because they did an up limit, which is a 10% movement or greater. They hit twice. First one was in 5 minutes. The next one was a little bit later in the day. So it's a very volatile market. A week later, which was last Monday, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the other exchange that's the competitor of the CBO, opened their exchanges. And so now you can do options on Bitcoin, which is providing a little bit more stability. We're not seeing it as volatile, but I will say we did have a 20% downward day in the market. Cryptocurrencies are here to stay. You're going to see more of them. In fact, I'm not endorsing this one, but another cryptocurrency called Longfin went up 730% in 2 days.
Wow!
When it launched its IPO last Thursday at $5.38, it closed and it opened up at $44.80 in pre-market. So you're going to see more and more of these. I mean, there's dozens and dozens of cryptocurrencies. I don't think they're going away.
Yeah.
But just be very careful. I've said this before. I'm not anti-cryptocurrency. I'm not anti-Bitcoin or any. And Bitcoin is just a coin within the cryptocurrency. I'm not anti it. Just you got to read up on it. Got to do a lot of research. And you got to trade with money you're willing to lose, and because it's very volatile, it's parabolic.
Yeah, you see this stuff, and you see what's happening, and you'd have, forgive me for saying it this way, but you'd have to be a moron not to understand that as this stuff hits the market, as things go on, it's all we're not used to this kind of thing. I mean, cryptocurrency, I don't think that's in my dictionary, my printed dictionary. That's a new word. That's recent, if you would. And people really don't know how to deal with it yet or what to do with it. So, again, you and I have talked about this before. For me, it's like barter, using it in the barter sense. But other than that, hey, let's hit on some of this other stuff before we run out of time. The Fed raised the rates 1/4 point, and gold shot up. Is this part of them unwinding their balance sheet?
Well, they haven't actually wound their balance sheet as of yet. They keep talking about it, but they haven't done that officially at the extent that they announced here 6 months ago or even beginning of this year. But the anticipation is now that we're going to move towards an inflationary environment, and the economic environment shows that is confirming what the Fed is saying. We're moving that direction. So it's kind of like the teeter-totter. Your early increases of the percentages on what the Fed is raising rates as, called the Fed lending rate, which they raised it 1/4 point, and now we're at 1.25. That we're trying to get to 3.5% to 4% during the next 4 or 5 years, maybe as quick as 3. They're saying next year going to raise a full percent over 4 rate hikes. The original rate hikes, Joe, were not good for gold, but now it's becoming good for gold. This confirms that we're moving into inflationary environment, which is, why we're going to have a 3 or 4% increase in the economic growth. So, I mean, it's everything's starting to paint the picture that we're moving towards an inflationary environment. The biggest thing I want to see is wage inflation. That will help out a lot in the American public. That will make America great. But all the other areas, we're seeing inflation, just not that one yet.
Yeah, I know. When you say the word inflation, people kind of cringe, right? I mean, we all think we know what it means. But, hey, the market's done well this year. Is there any reason we should be cautious in 2018? Do you expect to see it keep rising based on what's going on with the president and what have you?
No, I think his bill is going to be good for the market. I think some of it's factored in and some of it's not. I don't think 25% in the Dow is normal, and that's where we've been at, a little bit more than that, 26%. Don't expect that next year. Economists are coming out saying that's not normal. Don't expect that. Don't get used to it. And some are even saying, correction, and some are in the middle of that saying, more like a single-digit increase in stocks is really what you should be looking at. And that's the 50-year norm. That's what you should really be expecting. So we're in very artificial movement. Do I think the market is going to crash next year? Not unless we have some major changes like a war or, we get overextended in credit, or we have countries start selling our debt. It moves faster inflation. The Fed's raising rates much faster, or they unwind the balance sheet faster. Some thing that's not out of the normal picture. I think we're long due for a correction. Long overdue. In fact, many people are coming out and saying, like Vanguard chief economist came out, and he manages roughly $5 trillion. He says, get ready. Everything indicates that there is a 10% correction coming now, and there's a 70% chance of that. A CNBC poll mimicked that, with investors responding, saying the same, that there's a 10% correction coming any time now. Byron Wine, who's the head of BlackRock, or the vice president of BlackRock, he's saying that. So there's a lot of people coming out, Bill Gross, Jeffrey Gundlach. There's a lot of very well-respected people who are pro-stock, pro-market, just saying be very, very careful. I am actually writing a white paper on this.
I was just going to talk about that. Listen, you got about a minute, okay? So tell people, about the year-end discount on precious metals and how they can get information from you on more about, precious metals and that kind of stuff.
The white paper is going to come out in January, so we're not going to talk about that right now because of time, but there's a year-end discount, 10 to 30%. We pass the savings off to clients. It's done by wholesalers. They got to get rid of their inventory so they don't pay taxes. We have tons of people already taking advantage of this. It's probably been fast and furious here at our company.
You're listening to GCN. Visit GCNlive.com today.
Now's the time to track down the best deals at Cabela's after Christmas clearance. Hurry in and save up to 50% on a huge selection of footwear from national brands like Ariat, Timberland, Danner, and more. Get 50% off select Cabela's logo tees and caps for the family. and take 30% off select Cabela's rods, reels, combos, and tackle storage. Don't miss your chance to save big during Cabela's After Christmas clearance. Shop in-store and at Cabela's.com.